Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is just around the corner. I'm super excited for it. Great memories playing both of these games. I'm joined now by game designer Andy Gentile to help me reminisce and get me even more excited. Andy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
So these games were college games for me at the University of Kansas. I worked in on campus mail, delivering the mail around campus with my buddy. And when we'd come back from our route, we had a PlayStation set up in the mail room, and we just played both these games, 1 and 2, nonstop, passing the controller back and forth, trying to achieve every objective on every level. Andy, what was your experience with these games back in the day?
I mean, it sounds a lot like mine. I mean, I grew up like everyone else, just like totally obsessed. I had the Pizza Hut demo, the official PlayStation Magazine demos, and I really just played any extreme sports game I could get my hand on. But the THPS series has been near and dear to me, so I'm really excited to see it make such a huge comeback right now.
So how'd you make your way to the Tony Hawk dev team?
The short version of that story is I played a lot. Like a lot back in the day on Tony 1, 2, and 3, and I played 3 online, and I ended up getting to know some of the Neversoft developers, and then they asked me to come test Underground out one summer, and that was it. I became a tester, and then eventually level designer and producer, and yeah, and now here we are.
Well, that's a very cool story. So like as a longtime fan of the series and now someone who's working on the game, is it challenging balancing the experience for newcomers as well as longtime fans who want to chase crazy high scores?
It can be, but I think that's just it, right? The rule of thumb is that easy to learn, hard to master kind of thing. So you want to make sure it's approachable for everyone who's never touched a game before, but you definitely want to pay close attention to those people who are really taking it to the limit and, doing things that you didn't know were possible. So, yeah.
It's been a few years since these games were originally released. New skaters have entered the scene. Are you adding new skaters to the roster?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of skaters this time around. There's a lot of the classic people making their way back, and yeah, there's a few new ones making their way in to the roster this time. Yeah.
So who did you want to make sure you added to the game?
Well, there's people like Letitia Buffani, Leo Baker, Riley Hawk, Shane O'Neill. Shane O'Neill is one of my favorites. I'm really glad to see him in. And there's a few extras. I'm not sure exactly who all I could share at the moment, but I think the full lineup has been revealed. It's hard to keep track, but yeah, it's got a nice lineup this time.
I think that new challenges have been added into the game and integrated, including some skater-specific ones. Can you tell us about any of them?
I'm actually not sure if I can, but I can say there's like the classic goals that you're familiar with are making a comeback, and there's some that are new, and then there's some skater-specific ones that I won't go into too much detail about, but it's going to give players some extra thresholds to try and meet across the game that I'm pretty excited for.
All right. What about secrets? I know we don't want to spoil any fun secrets, but secrets have always been a part of the Tony Hawk series. Are all the original secrets in there? And have you also added new ones for people to find?
There's some original ones. I won't say which, and there's some new ones too that are going to be pretty awesome. I think people will be excited with what we've done.
What about skate tricks? There's also been, it's been many years since these games were released. New tricks have been invented. Have you added new tricks into the game?
There's a few new ones, yeah. There's a lot of classic ones that made the way back. I was really excited to see, classics like kickflip, backflip, and misty flip, Muska nose manual, all that kind of stuff. As far as new tricks, there's a few. Some have gotten a name change over the years, and then there's some special moves, I think, like the double 360 flip and the hospital flip and caster flip underflip, like all these kind of like little nuances. I'm not sure many people would notice, but for players like me, like I'm really excited to see some new variety making its way in.
Now, these original games didn't have online features. Are you adding online features to this bundle?
Yeah, online will be supported, and I'm very excited to play against people.
So, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the online features are going to be like?
Yeah, so the original modes are making a comeback, so there's definitely Trick Attack, Graffiti, Score Challenge, Combo Challenge, and Free Skate. And there's going to be some playlists being able to play casually and also competitively which has not been supported in the past. And
Right.
I'm like really pumped to just get in and hit a go button and just be able to play competitively and see what comes out.
Yeah. I believe Create a Park is supposed to be much more robust this time around. What's been added to the mode, and what are some of the new features?
So Creative Park has gotten extremely overhauled. It's kind of incredible. Like when I first saw the tech that we were working with, I was like, dude, there's no way we're gonna be able to do that. And then we did it. So you can like take these like kind of shapes and kind of shape them any way you want with you know, fun boxes, ramps, quarter pipes, half pipes, and you can really raise the elevation and go down and make twists and turns and just get really creative. And it's kind of crazy to see what people have been able to come with so far. I can't wait to see what people do with it. The rail tool is making a return. You can make it curve and angle, and I won't get too far into it, but I'm pumped for it. I think people are going to be really stoked to see what we got.
Do you have? Are you planning to add feature updates post-launch? Could new features be added to the game further down the line?
Could they? Yes. Will they? Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
What do you think? You know, why do you think now is the time to bring these games back? Obviously, you know, there's a whole audience of gamers that enjoyed these games back in the day, but why do you think now is the right time?
I mean, it just feels right. I mean, we've been starved without a new Tony Hawk game for a while now, and I think there's a good crowd of people out there just like you and me who've been playing for forever, and there's new consoles and new PC hardware that could just support this kind of this title. And I think, to me, I think it's long overdue, and I'm just really excited to see it come to fruition and really just have another Tony Hawk game to zone out on and, you know, and do our thing. And yeah, it feels like a good time.
We're just about out of time here. Before we go, what is like the thing you're most proud of working on with Tony Hawk game?
With this one in particular, I'm just really excited for the bones of it. Really, the snappiness, the feel, being able to do, you know, hidden combos in between manuals, and special tricks fire off appropriately from Wallies, and just the physics and the whole feel of it is really there. And so that alone, within the first couple minutes, you'll just be like, oh yes, this is what we've been waiting for. It's going to be good. And yeah, it's got my stamp on it. So I'm really excited for it.
Nice. I'm also really excited to return to Tony Hawk. Andy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man.